Hi everyone, my name is Sydney and today we're going to be discussing Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. I first picked up this series, I think it was 3 years ago. So the fact we're here now, so yay! Finally! I'm gonna say straight off the bat that this was my absolute favourite of the 3 in the series. I loved that it was jam-packed with action, I loved the character development. Whilst I really liked the other books, I felt like they really were romanticising, glorifying being in a triangle, and I'm not as interested in that side of the story. I want more action, I want to know more of the plot, where we're going, and I'm just really grateful that this book gave me everything I was looking for in the last 2 books. So thank you, Tessa Gray, Clockwork Princess, yes! This one is so good. It's so good. So before I talk more about this book, I did want to start off by giving you guys a little bit of an update as to what's been going on in my life, because I haven't posted a video in like 3 months, which is a long time. I really do want to get back into posting consistently every week, but here's the little things. So I live in Melbourne, Australia, and we have been classed as the city that has been in the longest lockdown in the world, which is pretty insane. We're finally out of that. I don't think we're going to go back into a lockdown. I really hope we're never going to go into another one. And we're in this new chapter where life is becoming normal. And I feel like I've just been so busy finding out what my schedule is, getting back into work, socializing, and it's been so beautiful, exciting, rewarding, but also this is such a chaotic time. I feel like I haven't been reading that much because I've just been on the go, and I am so grateful for that. I feel like I'm so much happier that I can see the people I love. I feel very passionate about what I do as my job, and I just feel so grateful that I can be out there doing it. I'm so proud of all of us that we've made it to the end of the tunnel. We can finally shine our light and express ourselves. I also have some other news that I wanted to share with you, which is pretty exciting as well. We have a new puppy. He's about 13 or 14 weeks now and he's so beautiful. His name is Jax. He's a Labradoodle. He's got green eyes, looks a little bit like me, very cheeky. He's just so intelligent and beautiful. We're so happy to have him a part of our life. We pretty much have had him since he was 8 weeks old, which is very young to have a puppy, and it has been such a wild ride, I'm telling you. The nipping, the biting, oh my god, I had bruises all over my legs. I still have some scars on my arms and my hands. Puppies are very playful, but they don't know their limit with their teeth, and it's just been so funny to grow and watch him grow to discover the world. So let's get back to Clockwork Princess. For those of you who haven't read this trilogy, this series yet, all I will say is we're following our main protagonist, Tessa Gray, and there are shadow hunters, there's demons, vampires, werewolves, all that kind of stuff. It's a fantasy trilogy. It's so well written, descriptive. Cassandra is amazing. If you haven't read anything by her, you need to. This is also set in the past, so I really love that. Comparing this to the Mortal Instruments, there is this huge comparison that the Mortal Instruments feels very modern. In saying that, I will put some links down below so you can check out my other book reviews on the other books that I made like 3 years ago if you want to see Little Sid. So let's get into the spoilery section. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. I think we should start with the biggest plot twist ever, which literally made me go, what? So we have Gem. If you have watched my other reviews, you may have gotten a little bit of a gauge that I didn't love Gem, especially with Tessa. I was so in this world of partnering her with Will, and I do still really love Will. I feel like in this book, Gem was reborn. This probably sounds really weird, but I loved that Cassandra made us all believe that he died. That was probably one of my favorite parts in this book. That whole scene is with the Silent Brothers, and then you have this little jump to Will, who's on his way to find Tessa, and it's almost like he's having a heart attack. You just see the grieving process, you see that link being destroyed. And I loved that scene, how he goes outside and he just knows that the cord has been broken, that he has lost his Parvati. It was so heartbreaking, but it was also tragically beautiful. I really love that scene. But then you have that time jump later where Jem is actually alive and he is a silent brother now, that he is brother Zachariah. I love the silent brothers. I really want a series on them because I find them so fascinating. So we had that first twist, and then the fact there was another twist thrown onto it was so good. How the hood fell back and we just knew who it was. I thought that was brilliant. Something I didn't like though was we have this twist, then we have this amazing twist, and then we have that epilogue at the end. We have Tessa and Will, they got together. I must say I didn't like how they got together, but we'll talk about that in a second. I was happy though that they ended up together. But then Will died, which was so tragic. You have a couple years go by. Jem expresses that he's still in love with Tessa and they end up together. I didn't love that because I just felt like it was such a cop-out. Like, I already accepted and I already love this story being how it was. Jem didn't die, that he did become a silent brother, and that's fucking awesome. But yes, becoming a silent brother means that you have to strip yourself away from certain things. So he had to strip himself away from music, the people he loves. To have this ending be like, let's let Tessa have the best of both worlds, a huge parallel towards Magnus as well, Magnus being immortal and being in love with many other different people. We were robbed with Jem finding a cure and being able to break away from being a silent brother. Yes, they got to have their happy ending, which is beautiful, but I also found it unnecessary because we already had this amazing story that didn't need that. And then you have Tessa, who is one fucking lucky girl that she's in love with two guys, but she gets to be with both of them. Does that happen in a perfect world? I don't know. And before Will went off on his adventure, he said to Jem, I will save Tessa. So he goes off to find her and save her. As soon as he finds her, they're in the room where Tessa is held captive and they fuck. Like, I get it, but I'm also just like, it's so weird to me that they could do that, especially in a room where they are held captive. And it was also kind of disrespectful that Jem just died. But okay. I did like that both characters acknowledged that they felt icky about what they did, because they should feel icky about what they did. It just, if you look at the time frame, just like, it's interesting, especially from Will's end. Like, he felt the bond break. Like, how would you feel? I don't know. You're getting with your best friend's girl and he just died. So we have other characters in the book. I really love Charlotte. I love that she became the consul. She is incredible. I really thought that her character in this book was redeemed as well as Jem. I also thought that Henry was such an underdog badass in this book. The fact that him and Magnus were the ones who invented the portal is so fucking cool. And I love that when they first went through the portal, they did see Will and Tessa, that Magnus is there like, you should probably put your clothes on before the rest of the gang get here. Magnus is my favorite character in this entire series. Henry being an inventor is just so funny because you see him fail, you see him fall. Without him, Tessa, Will, they probably would have died. I think the true hero in this book is pretty much Henry. Tessa is a shapeshifter, which is so incredible that we had that moment where she shapeshifted into an angel, her angel that's been protecting her this whole time. She became like an inferno, that she literally just destroyed Mortmain, destroyed all of the automatons, all in one go. I thought that was such an awesome moment. I love that Tessa got to finally have her little epic moment. That was awesome. Another character I really liked in this book was Will's sister, Cecily. I thought her character was so cool that she's just like Will. She wants to be a shadow hunter. It's in her blood. She's fantastic at it. I felt like her confidence really showed in this story and I love where it went. I hope that we get more of her in the future. Something I'm confused about is this whole duck reference. I feel like I was asleep whenever there was this mention of a duck or something in this series because I do not know what we're talking about. Like, Will is afraid of ducks, but why? What happened to him? I feel like I missed something, so if I did, feel free to spoil me with that. Can you write it down below? Because I'm confused. I'm confused. So the consul, oh my god, having the letters back and forth was really interesting. How he was trying to get Gabriel and Gideon to work in his favor to try to bring down Charlotte when Charlotte is epic and you just can't do that. In the end, the automatons were in that room where he was. That was brutal. I really love that Charlotte ended up taking the title because she's so deserving. She's incredible, and I really love that you get this feminism in here. Sophie is so awesome. I loved her character development as well. The fact that she is going to be a shadow hunter now is epic, and how she fell in love with Gideon and how Cecily fell in love with Gabriel. I think it's really interesting that Cassandra loves to have love in her stories. Yes, they add something, but I also feel like you don't always need it, which is really interesting. So this is something as well that if you can tell me if I'm right or wrong in the comments down below, that would be great. So with the Clockwork Prince, I believed that it was Jem, but now I'm confused because Mortmain refers himself as being the Clockwork Prince. So Tessa is definitely related to Aloysius, that Aloysius had a daughter who is Tessa's mother. Elizabeth is a shadow hunter. But then you have Mortmain, who might be Tessa's dad, which is just super fucking icky because he wanted to marry her in the past. Like, how Aloysius believes that Tessa is half demon because a fairy told him. How she survived because her mother was never marked, meaning she was not stillborn. Mortmain is crazy how he got his automatons to attack an entire city, burning them to the ground. That was horrific to read. How he made Tessa watch that all unfold. I also really loved the parallel that the automatons are connected to Mortmain's life, just the same as Tessa's Clockwork Angel is connected to her life. So there was a little setup that Tessa is immortal and so is Magnus Bane, my absolute favourite. I love Magnus so much. I feel like there was a little setup where Magnus said to Tessa, we're going to see each other again. I feel like we're going to see both of them again in the Dark Artifices, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this book. It was definitely my favourite out of the trilogy. I love Charlotte, I love Henry, I love who Jem became, and Tessa's epic moments. There was just so much in here that was awesome, and I feel so grateful to have finally completed this trilogy. I think it's time I complete the Mortal Instruments series. I can't wait to see how that's gonna end. So yeah, please feel free to share your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you thought about these characters and about the whole duck thing. What does that mean? Can you tell me more? Why is Will afraid of ducks? Why? So I'll see you all very, very soon. I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy sharing your light with the world. As usual, bye!